episode 74, All the Everything Podcast. I'm Billy. That's Tim. Tim, what's going on, my man?
Hello, my friend. It's so good to be back with you, like recording in like real time in the studio again, right?
That's right. That's right. It's been a minute since we've actually recorded because we had to do some bulk recordings to get us through
Yes.
travel and stuff like that. And we are back
Yeah.
and we're recording the week of this episode coming out. So that's,
Yes.
hey, it's a turn and
That's a
burn
rarity these days.
situation here.
No,
That's
the turn
right,
and burn
that's
is when we
right.
do it on Wednesday and the podcast comes out on
Oh,
Thursday.
that is true.
That's a turn
That's
and burn.
right. At
for
least
you,
we have
my
a few
friend,
days.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
A
that
few
is
days to, like,
really true.
let it slide before you have to get back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a lot going on since we last talked. I did spring break. You did spring break. So
Yep.
time away from the home with the
Mhm.
kiddos. So you want to tell me about what you guys got into when you were gone? And where did you go again?
Yeah, our plans our plans changed a little bit. Originally, we were going to go up to
Oh,
Huntsville and
okay.
spend a few days and then also go to Chattanooga. We love going to Chattanooga, going hiking and stuff like that. And then there's like this
Mhm.
really cool children's museum. And the girls have never been to like Ruby Falls and Rock City. And so I wanted to go do that, but our plans changed. They came out. So we ended up staying in town. And then like Michelle's always off on Tuesdays. She had to work anyway. So it was going to be me and the
Okay.
girls. And so what happened was, she's off on Tuesdays. And so Tuesday we went down to Birmingham instead. And there is a new escape room in Birmingham.
You guys at the escape rooms, like there's nobody who has more escape rooms in your family. I'm convinced.
Yeah. It's one of those, it's the escape game / the great big game show.
Oh,
I don't know if y'all have one in Cincinnati as well. They're based out of Nashville. And so I'll tell you what, that was the best escape room that I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Like it was super cool. We started off with the playground, and then we're like, we loved it so much, we bought another one right after. We did two, and so we did like this. We plane crash into the jungle, and we're like in these like ancient temples and stuff like that. And so we did that. So we did two back-to-back escape rooms, and then we went and saw Hoppers at the Nice Theater, the one with the laid back reclining seats.
So what do you think about Hoppers? I haven't seen it yet. I've heard a couple of good reviews from people I know.
It was good. I mean, it was nothing like it was one of those movies that I felt comfortable getting up and like going pee or refilling my drink. And I knew I knew the plot of the story.
Right.
I knew what was going to happen. So it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. The girls loved it. And so it was good, but it wasn't like the best Pixar movie ever made.
Right.
Unfortunately. But it was good. I enjoyed it. But yeah. So we went there, and so we spent the day. Great day. Of course, Michelle had to work the rest of the week. And so we ended up going on Saturday back to Birmingham. So we ended up doing another two escape rooms. So 4 escape rooms in 1 week. It was crazy.
Wow.
So that day we did what were those two? One was a submarine. You had to break out of the submarine, which was really a really cool thing. You found a secret lab underwater and lots of science stuff. And then the other one was this cosmic, you're on the spaceship and there's this black hole and you have to blow up the black hole before it kills everybody. And I'm telling you what, those were challenging. Yeah, it was a lot of pressure, especially doing it with a 9 and a 6-year-old. And then of course it doesn't hurt that you have like a doctor with you that's really competitive and good at everything she ever touches. But that said, we escaped every single room and had a blast. There's only one more room there that we have to do, and it's like an art heist room. That's the only one left of the new rooms that we have at that particular location, and we're going to be doing that when we go down for the Red Shoe Run in just a couple of weeks, and so we'll finish off those. Yeah, but we loved it. This is just like a free commercial for them, apparently.
Yeah, we need to get a sponsorship from them.
But then we also
reach out.
100%. I was going to talk. We haven't gotten to talk this week, but I was going to say, because it's one of those places, if it's a place that you believe in that we want to support and we actually want to, I can actually show them this clip. So we'll clip this right here and we'll show it to them. And
we
be
love
like,
you
hey,
guys.
We love you. We want to work with you. Give us money. Or let us play for free.
You don't want to escape
I don't know.
this because it's got good
That's right.
mojo.
That's right. But you had a big spring break as well, right?
Yeah, we did. So yeah, we myself, Leslie, and our daughter Lauren was on her spring break for senior year. And as a matter of fact, it kind of hit us all at the very end. Like, this is the last spring break we're ever gonna do. Like, all our kids are grown. They're through all the schooling, through all the college spring breaks. Does it mean we will never go on a trip during spring break again? But no, but as official child who's still in school and has a spring break, this is our final one.
Right.
So that was like kind of sad to think about that, but also exciting because we got 2 healthy kids who've made it all the way through school. She's going to graduate and have a job and all the fun things. So a lot of blessings there in that case. But so that was a little sad. So Billy, hold on to the spring breaks because that last one will sneak up on you even when you're not thinking about it. So yeah, but you got plenty right now. You've got plenty.
Right.
You got them all through school. You got college. You got it all. So anyhow, spring break's always been a big deal for our family. Most of it was spent in Disney for years. We did Disney for spring break and Disney cruises. And as they got older, we branched out, did different things. But yeah, so it's always been a big deal for us. So that's why I was just like, that actual official spring break is coming to an end. But yeah, taking the sadness out of it, we had an amazing spring break. We did a 7-night on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, biggest ship in the world.
Ooh,
and
the biggest ship in the world.
So amazing. So the only time Leslie and I had been on the Icon of the Seas was for a preview cruise when they were having travel agents and owners and stuff come on and influencers to pump it out for like a basically 2-day, 3-night cruise when it came down to it. So you were on time to experience everything. Man, you were running around. Everybody you know is there. So you're always like talking to everybody. So to be immersed back in it for an entire week, just like as true guests, it was fantastic. I think this is my favorite ship by far now after being on it for a week in terms of all the food options.
That's high praise.
Yeah, like in the bars and the entertainment. It's just nonstop, and you can do as little as you want or everything you want, and you still don't see it all sometimes, and you kind of forget about certain places. But no, we had an amazing time. We went to Honduras. We were at the Bahamas. We were at, I think, Costa Maya, and then Private Island was our last day. I got off the ship one time, and that was that perfect day at Coco Cay.
That's what I was seeing pictures of Leslie and Lauren, and I was like, Tim.
Classic Tim. Didn't want to leave.
Tim is on the boat.
Yeah, well, we had all discussed that nobody really wanted to get off at Costa Maya. We've been there, done that. Bahamas, same thing.
Sure.
Lauren really wanted to get off in Honduras just so she could stay. She stood in Honduras.
She's been in that country, exactly.
She's been there. I've been there on the ship, but I never put feet on the ground. But I don't know whatever counts. But they got off. There was like a little gated in little shopping area where you could go out and just do a little shopping and come back on really fast. So that's what they did. I had a killer massage. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tim's really bougie. If you don't know this already, he loves the massages.
Anyhow, massage was great. We had amazing dining places throughout the ship. This time we were in a seaside or surfside suite. And it's like the lowest possible suite you can possibly get, but get all the suite like benefits. And matter of fact, I think this is like, I'm pretty sure Leslie said this is one of the last cruises they're even including any benefits in that one type of suite because it's like the lowest rung.
Okay. Sure.
But so we had access to a place on there called Coastal Kitchen, which is just for suite members only. So you get to have your own like private restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Nice.
So you get to know people and have fun in that group with a lot of other people. And then, we had fun for beautiful, like private dining at different restaurants, like hibachi and steak and all those kind of things. So there was a lot of eating, there was some drinking, and there was a lot of memories made and a lot of fun. So yeah, so it was great. We came back Saturday, and we had a blast. Billy doesn't even know that we're not going to be recording next Monday, but I'm telling you now, and why is because I bought for Luke like last August for his Christmas present was for us to go to Indianapolis this coming weekend for the Final Four and the championship game on Monday.
Oh,
So we got tickets for both games on the Final Four, the championship game, and we got some really cool NCAA like special lounges we're going to, like pregame for both nights. You access to all these different kind of cool things.
I actually knew that. You did tell me that before. I just
yeah. I just don't think I talked about it on the podcast as far as I can
remember. Yeah. Now that you say it
I will share my experience once we get back, but I'm super pumped.
Yeah.
It's something I've always wanted to do, to go to the Final Four, and it happens to be just a couple hours from us in good old Indianapolis. And doing stuff with Luke is always a bonus.
Yeah,
he's older now. We don't get to see him all the time and do like take him on trips and stuff like that. So super pumped for that coming up. We leave on Friday
next week. Yeah.
Did you see that final game yesterday with Duke?
That was. Why don't you just hold the ball? Just hold the ball.
All you gotta do is hold the ball. That's it.
Golly, that was insane. That is March Madness to a T right there. That is the definition of March Madness. That's insanity.
It is, because it's one thing for UConn to like steal the ball, right? With 5 seconds left. Then you have to advance it a little bit just to try to get a shot. And the guy shot like a logo shot for a 3-pointer.
He did.
Just drained it. And Duke about collapsed to the ground. I mean, they were up by 19 points at one point, and they did it, and they blew it. So,
oh my gosh.
For our people listening right now who don't care about sports, we're done talking about sports for now.
That's right.
Because we've got a special episode for you, and we want to get right into it. Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
Everything, we got it all. We got it all. Big, small, little, tall. So grab your snacks, sit back, don't stress, 'cause Tim and Billy talk about the randomness. From ancient Rome to UFOs, whoa, they take you where the weirdness goes. From history facts to what's brand new, to things you didn't know you knew. It's two guys talking way too loud. Way too loud. Bringing energy to every crowd. Every topic gets a turn. You might laugh or even learn. Okay, that one I actually didn't know. From pop culture to mysteries, to all the things in between these. No niche here, that's the plan. Everything fits in the span. Hey, all the everything. We got it all, we got it all. Big, small, little, tall. Welcome to the madness. Hey!
Well, welcome back to yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Tim Sawhook, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Billy. I can escape from any room, underwater,
that's right,
up, art heist, crashing in planes in the jungle. It doesn't matter. Parchment.
That's right.
Billy, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm real excited about today's episode.
Yeah,
people have no idea what's coming.
Yeah, because Billy sent me an email this past week when I was on the cruise. He said, I had this idea. I think it'd be great. And I was like, oh yeah, this is right up our alley. You know, we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. And to break it down the way we're going to break it down for you, it's going to be special.
That's
so
right.
Billy, what are we talking about today, my friend?
Well, today we have what we call a logo episode for you all. And if you don't know what that means, that's right. That's right. On our logo, if you look at it, we have all these different items around in a big circle. And those little items represent a lot of things that we love. You know, whether it's a cross for Jesus, or if it's like a Mickey Mouse.
Go Jesus.
Or
Go Jesus.
That's right. It's or you know, or it just like different things. Like it, you know, it resembles things, because you know, this is All the Everything podcast. We talk about everything. And so one of those just so happens to be some music notes. That's right. You know, we've been doing this for a year and a half now, almost, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're 74 episodes in, and we've never had a dedicated music episode. And so that is what we're doing today. And not only that, we are talking about the playlist of our lives, the songs. We all have these playlists, right?
Yeah.
The songs, the albums, the artists that just, they're part of our story. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the playlist of our lives. And we're going to be breaking down some really deep musical questions for you all.
Bum, bum, bum. And I would say that most of them talk about music as we've grown up, right?
That's right.
Just to kind of give an overall theme to it. And we'll get into all the questions and we'll go through it and you'll see. But just to give you an idea, like the overall theme is the sound or the playlist of our lives, mostly growing up to about now. Right? Would you say?
Right. Because, music is nostalgic, right? You hear a song that you haven't heard in forever, and it takes you right back to that time, and you remember exactly what you were doing and all the fun things, and it just kind of brings back memories. And that's what kind of makes music so special as well.
All right. You came up with the topic. I'll read the questions for you. All right.
Okay.
Here's what we've got. So number 1, what song instantly takes you back to your childhood? Now, there's a caveat to it, because this must be a song that came out before you turned 13 years old. So Billy, along with those guidelines, what do you have for us?
Kind of just going through. There's a million different options,
oh my
that
gosh.
you can go with. But the one option that I picked for this episode, it has a special meaning because this was on the first CD I ever bought. I got a boombox,
nice.
that played CDs.
You holding it like on your shoulder like that?
That's right. You could have. It had to have the big old batteries, like with the D's or whatever.
Big D's.
Like 100.
Yeah.
That's right. But yeah, my first ever CD player, upgrading from cassettes. And this album was the first album that I got. And it was a soundtrack to a movie. I can. Yes, absolutely. Okay. This is 1995. And if you do the math, this is right on the cut. I'm 12 years old when this came out. Okay. So, because this is my first, like I said, first CD. It is the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Nice.
And yes, this one had some bangers on it. Like it had Method Man, The Offspring, Bone Thugs and Harmony, which I love, the Smashing Pumpkins, U2. But my favorite song, the one song that takes me back to my childhood, was from the man they call Seal, with Kiss from a Rose on the Grave.
Oh my God. I love that.
And I apologize because there's going to be a lot of singing probably on this, and not good singing, but it's going to happen. But I mean, just that video, I still remember watching that video and Seal being there, and just kind of, it's real Batman-y because, and this was the Batman Forever soundtrack that had like the Val Kilmer Batman. It was the Val Kilmer Batman movie. And so Kiss from a Rose. That is just like, that just brings me right back to that time in life. Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
Batman Forever, Billy Forever.
All right, Tim, that was mine. How about you, man? What song instantly takes you back to your childhood? A song that must have come out before you were 13 years old.
So this song came out in 1987, and I was born in 75. Okay. So just like you, 12 on the way to 13, like right in that same area.
That's right.
So it was hard. Like Billy and I talked about this before the podcast, and then we stopped talking about it so we can talk about it now. It was hard to pick some of these songs, right? Because there's a lot of things that keep coming up and keep coming up. But I had to answer all the other questions. So the song, every time I hear it, takes me back to basically, being a teenager, was Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child O' Mine, 1987. And that song was on everywhere. MTV, radio, nonstop, playing it in my room, playing it. Then my brother was playing it in his room. Like it was just nonstop everywhere, right? And it was funny. So not knowing I was going to be a DJ when I got older and be into mixing all this music and doing all these things, I always dreamed that I'd be a DJ one day growing up. I'm like, I want to be able to collect all this music and be able to play it. And so I was always famous for my tape case I'd carry around. It was like this blue and black, big dual level tape case. So I'd always have like the fun singles that just came out. You remember the tape singles that came out?
Tape singles, yep.
Go Absolutely. Get that and maybe get something good on the side B, maybe not. So I would always get the newest, hottest songs that came out and play them when we got together with friends or a party, even though we didn't really go to parties, but it was a party to us at our own place. And playing all these different songs. And I remember having the cassette for Guns N' Roses, having it in my tape case. And I wrote this down because I always thought like the way that I sit with my parents growing up and they would play their oldies for us, they're like, these are the songs, blah, blah, blah. I always thought I would sit around with my kids one day and that pull out like the Sweet Child of Mine tape. And they would be like, oh, that's such an amazing song. Oh my God. Like I was reminiscing when I was growing up, what it would be like to be older and have kids. And I would pull out this old tape, kind of like my parents did to us about their old music and let me listen to it and be like, oh, that's a fun, whatever. That was like my fantasy was playing Sweet Child of Mine that came out. And I thought my kids are going to respect this one day and be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you have these tapes, not knowing that CDs were coming and digital and MP3s and all this stuff down the road. So yeah, that was mine. Cause every time I hear that song, it just cues me back to that time every single time. I can picture the video in my head over and over again. I'm not going to sing Sweet Child of Mine. It's too, I will. It's too Sweet Child of Mine. Well, if I knew you were going to do it, I would back you up. Like, yeah. But so that was the song that takes me back when I hear it. Again, there's a couple other songs that I could have mentioned, but because I have that funny story attached to it in my head growing up, I figured that had to be one of them that kind of it just pulls you back right to that moment of time in your life. So.
Right.
All right. Moving on to our next question. Mm-hmm. What was the first album you ever loved from front to back?
The album that comes to mind, like that I absolutely like, all bangers. It's also one of those that, my first one was a movie soundtrack. This one is a various artist CD, right?
Oh, okay.
You growing up and loving like Christian contemporary music, right?
Sure.
Growing up in the church and going to youth group and stuff, there was no greater CD than the Wow 1999 CD, but the green one, it was a double disc. You had the green and you had the silver. Now the green one, front to back, like that. I mean, just kind of going into some of the songs that were on this album. Start off with DC Talk, Into Jesus. Then the Newsboys, Entertaining Angels, Jars of Clay. These are all like heavy hitter 90s, contemporary Christian. Michael W. Smith, Delirious. I like to call them Delirio 5, but their name's Delirious because they made the S at the end look like a 5, so I always called them Delirio 5. It's just like a personal.
Man, they were cutting edge. They were cutting edge with that.
Want to go deeper? Don't know how to swim. Yeah, and then Pray by Rebecca St. James.
Oh yeah,
I had the biggest crush on Rebecca. She's from Australia, and I did end up meeting her one day at a concert. And I was backstage and we were talking and I'm like, and this, I didn't mean anything like inappropriate by this or anything, but I was like, can I just give you a hug? Not like in like a romantic kind of way, but like, I just like your music's so awesome. Like, can I just get, and then I thought, kind of think about it. It might've been weird, cause I was probably 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
It just kind of might've been a little weird, but I did it anyway.
Now, did she allow you the hug?
Yeah, she gave me a big hug. It was sweet. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was nothing weird, but after the fact, I kind of been like, oh, snap. I hope that wasn't weird for her. Yeah. But there was this song on this by the W's. It says, "The Devil is Bad." And it was like a kind of a ska. This is kind of during the ska like the dun, dun,
like
dun,
ska
like
music,
the
yeah.
trumpets, and yes, yeah. And so it's like, you are the devil and you are bad. Just kind of, it was like one of those songs that was just super fun. He's talking about how bad the devil is.
That's the kind of song I like.
That's right. That's right. Then you got Third Day. You got Supertones, Audio Adrenaline, or for those that are in the know, Audio A is what we called. And then just to make it even more epic, you have a song on the green disc, Wow 1999, by the one, the only, Larry the Cucumber. That's right, VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales.
His cheeseburger, his lovely cheeseburger. I want for you. Yeah, one for you. Hey.
Oh my gosh, VeggieTales. Yeah. I haven't thought about VeggieTales in so long.
But yeah, from front to back. I mean, like from that, and now the silver disc was good too, but it wasn't as epic as the green disc. Everybody talks about the green disc. If you kind of were in that era there. But yeah, that was front to back nostalgia right there.
Oh, I love it. That's a good one. It's funny about none of my songs that I have down for the list based upon the time frame that you kind of put with the questions were any like contemporary Christian music. The reason why is we weren't really ever introduced to that growing up. It was always like traditional hymns. That's what we sing in church every single Sunday.
Yeah.
So if, we had all of those that so we were never really introduced to like the contemporary people who made other music, because I don't know if my dad thought they were not street. I don't know. They were not a thing or whatever. And not like we could never discover that on our own, but we just never had the contemporary stuff that we listen to now today. You put a playlist on for like praise music and you're going to get so many of the popular people out there right now who sing. And so we were never really exposed to that. Now, if you want me to sing, which one would we sing a ton in church? Amazing Grace comes to mind. We sang that a ton. We sang, I'm trying to think of the ones we sing all the time. Now I'm blanking. Let's just go with Amazing Grace. I could have added that, but it wasn't something I listened to all the time, except when I was in church on Sunday morning and Sunday night. And don't forget Wednesday night. So,
right. So your dad as a pastor never had any issues like with Guns N' Roses or Metallica or anything like that growing up?
I didn't say that.
Okay. No, you're like, I didn't say that, but
yeah, as we got older, just side tangent real quick, and I'd play some of the Metallica songs and Guns N' Roses and whatever. And he kind of went down the whole path because, I was number 4 of 7. So my older sister was quite rebellious. So she went through all their music. And then my older sister, Lisa, and then my older brother, Mark, who was always...
They paved the way for you.
Yeah. So, and I was always pretty much... I pretty much would go with what my parents said. I wouldn't always go against the grain and be like, no, I don't want to do that, get massive fights. So I think they thought I was more approachable in that way and be like, we don't think this is a great song. But it was never like, don't ever play this ever again in my house. But I don't think you should probably listen to this, or you should listen to, But when you're a teenager, you kind of, all the things. So anyhow, complete side tangent about that. So that wasn't even the question. So the one that was the first album that I ever loved front to back, and it was because one of the main reasons, because my best friend Matt and my best friend Mike, who I've talked about a lot, who had passed away already, had all listened to this album and we all loved it together. So you have that friendship bond type of thing where all your friends are listening to it. And this album, actually, the only reason that we had it, the CD, and we're listening to it over and over again, is because Matt had bought it for a girl's birthday party he was going to. And I can't forget if he ended up not going, or if he went, nobody was like really doing presents, so he never gave it away. And we started listening to it together on ourselves, and we listened to it nonstop over and over again. And that is the Don't Be Cruel album from Bobby Brown. We were obsessed with Bobby Brown and a bunch of other people I'll get into a little bit later, but we love that. I mean, you have Don't Be Cruel on there. You have Every Little Step. You have Roni. I'm trying to think about other songs that were on there that were just amazing. We just loved that kind of beat, that R&B. that fun. And again, when you tie it to, like you mentioned before, when you tie it to the feelings and the nostalgia of that stuff, like you remember where you were and how you felt and all the things you did together during that time. But that was the first album I ever loved, like front to back, because we would listen to it nonstop because we were just kind of obsessed with that type of music and Bobby Brown back in the day. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
It's great.
I still love it. I don't listen to it as much anymore.
Sure.
But I do have my own little playlist with those songs on there, and like to jam out to them and feel like back, because that was back in like 87, 88 also.
Yeah.
Because I just like now, I listen to a variety of music back then, as I kind of do now. I got all kinds of stuff I like to listen to. But so yeah, that was my first album that I love front to back. Good old Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, like I said, there's something special that's attached to those songs too. That just even makes it even more epic.
You mentioned that in the opening about nostalgia, right?
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
It's completely that. It's completely that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next question. Don't worry, guys. We only have 50 questions, so we're on number.
Only 117 questions for you today.
Actually,
this is only going to be a 3 hour and 72 minutes. 72 minutes. Yep, that's right.
3 hours and 72 minutes.
72 minutes.
Oh my god. Okay. There's only 10 questions, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
We want you to be counting along with us. All right. Right. Number 3 question. What song or album defines your high school years?
Oh man. Well, this one right here for me is a really special album. Especially right kind of like going back right now, because some things have happened in the last couple of weeks that just brought this album back. I went to East Central High School for part of my high school years, and that's in Hurley, Mississippi. And if you're familiar with that, one of the largest rock bands in the 2000s and even today came from that school and was heavily around even before they hit it huge. And
yeah,
I'm talking about Three Doors Down. Brad Arnold, the lead singer, just recently passed away a couple of weeks ago from his fight with cancer. And knowing Brad and going to the shows before they ever made it big, like when he was still drumming and singing, they were playing Kryptonite, the song that just kind of made them huge.
Yeah.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
I will.
And they got signed. So there's this local rock station in Biloxi, WCPR 97.9, WCPR. Oh. Yeah. And they put on CPR Fest, or at least they did. I don't know if they still do, but they brought them on as an indie, band, and they kept bringing them on over and over and over again. And they would keep playing Kryptonite. And then they got signed and they made The Better Life. And, that was their first official CD. Now, we used to sell their independent CD that they produced themselves. And, we would sell it for $5 or $10 or whatever. And
wait,
really
who would
special.
Sell it? You?
Oh, just kids. Yeah. Just friends, friends of the band. Yeah. We would just, have them, and we would, And so that was always really cool. But, the fact that they came from my high school and became one of the largest bands, out there.
Yeah, during that time frame for sure.
And over the years, anytime Kryptonite comes on or any of their songs, Michelle would always joke, he's about to say it. Hey, did you know I went to high school with these guys? Every time.
I didn't want to mention it. You've already brought this up before, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, have I talked about this on the podcast before with Brad?
Yeah, well, not as in depth, but
or with you.
No, on the podcast you talked about Three Doors Down being at your high school or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's, if you think of high school years, that album right there, The Better Life.
Okay.
I mean, you just celebrate it. So that's my pick.
I love that.
How about you?
It's a good question. Such a good question that I had multiple answers.
Right.
Because again, the song or album defines you through high school years, and I liked a lot of different music. Me and my friends, we listened to a lot of different music together. So, just gonna go through them real quick. Bon Jovi, "Slippery When Wet" album,
Okay.
fantastic. Many huge hits from that album. Again, I mentioned "Don't Be Cruel." Bobby Brown was a huge one for us. Guns N' Roses, "Appetite for Destruction." That album was killer. Still one of my favorite videos ever is "Paradise City." I thought that was like
Paradise City.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the video where it was them like getting it was showing like a time lapse of their concert, like everyone.
Yes, I was about to say it was on concert, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah, it was. And so that was such a fun one. And then good old Rob Bass, "It Takes Two," "Salt and Pepper," "Push It," and like all of those just were big for me and all of my friends during that time. And also it's mentioned that we were still in the 80s and still in the age of going to the roller rink, and they would play all those songs when you
my gosh,
you went skating, so you had all those songs on there. It's just so many fun things and certain things that match different moods and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot I could go into about each album, but those were, I cheated and gave you like 5 answers, but there really wasn't just one. There were so many different ones, and I could have listed more too, but
right.
It is what it is for that. So yeah, those are some of mine for during that time. I didn't go to high school with any of these people like Billy did. Weren't selling bootleg CDs to people like Billy does.
Not bootleg. They produced those. Those were legit. And if I could find mine right now,
it made the story funner. They were bootleg.
Yeah,
you were selling them out. You were selling them out of the back of your car,
the back of your trunk. Hey kid, come over here. Let me show you what I got.
Yeah, I got the CD, and you can get 5 steaks for $20.
That's right.
Why do I have steaks back here? Who knows? I'm hustling to make some money.
Right. Gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do, my friend, and I completely agree with that. So those are some of mine for defining high school years.
Awesome.
Billy, we're gonna go back to you for number 4. What is a song that got you through a tough time? And I don't know how. I'm gonna say this as a preference. I framed mine around growing up, not just like any time in my life.
Sure.
So that's how I was framing my mindset on that. So go ahead.
Yeah. One of the most beautiful songs and one of my favorite songs of all time comes from the band called Lifehouse. And it's a song called Everything. And it was probably one of their most popular songs that they ever came out. I mean, they even played it on Smallville, if that tells you how much.
Oh.
But like, if you think about it in the words of the song, they were one of those rock bands that, are they Christian band or not?
Yeah.
All their songs are faith-based, but they are a normal, I guess what you would say secular band or whatever. They're not a Christian band touring churches or whatever. They're touring, but all of their songs had like this faith, either undertone or just straight up, faith-based. But like when you're kind of going through a hard time and you listen to the words that, from this song, you calm the storms and you give me rest. You hold me in your hands and you won't let me fall. You still my heart and you take my breath away. That kind of can help you, of course they're talking about God holding you and calming the storms in your life and being there. But
I felt like you were saying those lyrics right to my heart, Billy. So thank you.
Well, yeah. Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, it's a beautiful song, and it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So that's what I would, if they're going through a hard time, put that on. Everything by Lifehouse.
Okay, I love it.
Thank
so
you. How about you?
My song is gonna feel like real teenager. Like it's gonna feel like real teenager, more like high school even. Like I'm thinking probably 10th or 11th grade, one of those two. And I had gone through one of my like biggest breakups, and I was just devastated, like, teenage devastated, high school devastated. Like, I couldn't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop thinking about this person. It was, I was so depressed, all those things that come with a big breakup during that kind of time frame in your life. And there wasn't any song that I could ever pin down, but like, oh my God, I need like to hear this song again or pin this down so I can like connect with it or whatever. But one day I was driving and I was listening to Top 40 with Casey Kasem.
Kasem.
Oh yeah. And he was very, very famous for doing those long distance dedications. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so people would write in a story about something, either it was about joy or a parent passing away or somebody they fell in love with or a breakup or whatever. And they'd read this long distance dedication by Casey Kasem and then he'd play the song. So the song he played after that, it was a similar story about mine, like gone through a breakup, lost a love, something like that. And the song he played was a song by Phil Collins called Against All Odds. Oh, are you familiar with this?
That was my kindergarten song. Yeah, my kindergarten song. Just kidding.
What? Like, wait a minute. What?
You said it was your high school song.
Yeah, this kindergarten for you. Shut up. Against All Odds is this big love song. It's from a movie too. I forget what the name of the movie is. I think it was called Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now. And it was a whole thing about this loss. And it spoke to me so hardcore that I had to go to a certain tape store to find this tape, because I couldn't just download it like we do now. And I played that thing on repeat like it was part of my soul, the song over and over again. I never got this person back, but it was one of the songs when I was so down and depressed that helped me get through that big breakup. And we've all been through the big breakups before. I mean, they're hard. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're in high school, everything seems so big and polarizing to you in that moment. So there are many songs growing up, going through, and Christian songs and stuff that got me through a lot of things. Absolutely. But I was pinned down to like the high school years of what I was thinking. And for me, for sure, was Against All Odds by Phil Collins. And what we're going to do after this podcast is Billy and I are going to record another one where we sing all these songs. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be worth listening to. And that way we don't get copyright issues because these are like,
our interpretations.
Our interpretation of them. And we're going to see if you guys tap into that heart and that love. So, yeah. So doesn't that sound like a classic, like high school boy, girl crush breakup, playing the same song over and over again just to get through it?
That's the one that goes, take a look at me now.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. There you go. Yep. There you
go. I could read some of the lyrics for you, but I don't want to get too emotional.
Too emotional.
Take me back to that place.
Take me back.
Take me down to Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
Please take me home. Yeah. Sorry.
I was getting ready to start drumming. It's going hard.
Right.
Oh my God. Okay. I feel really exposed in my heart right now.
That's right. You're very vulnerable. Yep.
My long distance dedication that inspired me to get through that breakup. So. And while we're talking about that, we want to know like what song helped you get through a breakup? What helped get you through a hard time out there? We want to know. Okay. Billy, question number 5.
Yeah.
What is your personal anthem, the song that feels like you?
Oh, what's that song that make you run through a wall? Come on now. Let's go. I've talked about this song before on the podcast, going through the weight loss journey and staying motivated. I do have a playlist that I made called the 100-Pound Club. I made it when I started, when I hit the 100 pounds mark of the weight loss. But the one song that I listen every single day before I, work out or during my workout, Imagine Dragons, Whatever It Takes.
Yes.
Because you got to have that, that extra, you got to do whatever. I mean, the words, whatever it takes. Because I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes because I love how it feels when I break the chains. And I can tell you what, like, that's right. Like the chains of like, food addiction and just hurting and feeling terrible all day long, breaking those chains, get up and moving and stuff like that. It's hard. It is hard to break chains. That's what chains do. They hold things down. And so you have to do whatever it takes to break those. And so that song just gets you amped, or gets me amped at least, and makes me want to be like the Kool-Aid man and run through the wall. What's up, guys?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So, Billy just punched through my wall. How are you here, Billy?
That's right. How are you here?
Who's going to fix that?
I'm so hyped that I just made it from Alabama to Ohio in 2 seconds.
Boom, baby. He was jacked. He broke through those chains from Alabama. Now we set him free in Ohio. So thanks, Billy.
That's right.
And honestly, do you know a contractor? Because now there's a huge hole in my wall.
Now there's,
man,
at least I didn't knock your here. Yeah, at least I didn't knock your bourbon over.
Let's not even talk about that. I'm way too fragile. Against all odds. No, I love that song. I shared a while ago on the podcast. I'm not going to go back into it. The way I use that song as motivation in our fitness classes. I went through the whole thing about doing whatever it takes. I agree. That's a great song. My song for this is not something that I picked from high school. This is the only one that I was thinking, like, what would I play now? And here's the deal. Anybody who knows me, listens to this podcast, knows I listen to a billion different songs all the time.
Right.
And they're going to be like, you picked that? I picked this one because it represents so many times that I've had to do this. Growing up, going through adulthood, going through depression, all those things. And so that song is by a crazy band called Chumbawamba, and that song is called Tub Thumping.
Tub Thumping.
And what's the lyrics to that, Billy? I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna
hold me down.
Exactly. So that, I mean, it represents so much in my life, especially I think more of as a young adult, dealing with all that depression and all that stuff. And I think about that in weight loss, and I think about that in relationships with people and stuff like that in our business, and how many times we've been knocked down. But you know what? Through the grace of God, I get back up again. Ain't nothing gonna hold me down. And so
that's right. Isn't that also do they say, is that the one that it goes like pissing the night away?
Well, I wasn't gonna bring that part up. But yeah. But I spent lots of time pissing the night away. But I focus more on that. I get knocked down.
Oh, the important stuff. Yeah, you get knocked down, but I get up again. Yeah, I like it.
And
it's a purple drink and other.
Yeah, right? Talking about the drinks, Billy. Talk about the good part. All right. Not every word matches what I was feeling at the moment. But yeah, I think about that song, about the different times I've been down, and like, all the things in life.
Yep.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Yeah,
and I say it through the grace of God. But
absolutely,
the only reason I'm able to get back up again. So anyhow, that's a song that feels like me now and maybe forever. Who knows? Yep. All right, Mr. Billiam, number 6 is, what artist or band has had the biggest impact on your life overall?
Yeah,
that's a big one.
Okay, so this band, this band's been around for decades, and they've had different variations, and the one I'm picking is a certain variation because we'll talk about it, but that is going to be the Newsboys. But during the Peter Fuller years,
okay,
when he was the lead singer, he started off as the band's drummer, but when their lead singer left, he became the lead singer. And the first album that he was the lead singer, like Going Public in 1994, and then Take Me to Your Leader in 1996, great album. But the one that got me loving the Newsboys is the 1998 album called Step Up to the Microphone.
Okay.
That's the one that has Entertaining Angels on it. It has one of my favorite songs called The Tide that's on it.
Okay.
But that was the first Christian contemporary CD. That's kind of what got me listening to music that was about Jesus, and it made me fall in love. It was in a time where music got me to a point that made me fall in love with the Bible more. that made me know more about Jesus. And so it was kind of like my gateway into believing. And this album was the album that started it all. And I remember they came to Pascagoula. Like I love the CD. They even played one of their songs on Dawson's Creek, which I loved at the time as well.
Yeah.
And which was a big deal for me too, because, but they came to Pascagoula and they played at the fairgrounds. And, it's under like the big barn area that they usually have like the cows and the pigs and stuff during the fair. But, they had all the cages out and they had a big, nice stage. And it was they had this drum set that would spin, and Peter would drum and the drummer would drum, and they had two sets and they would be spinning sideways.
Oh,
and
that's crazy.
Like, so cool. And it was like, It was so entertaining. But we stayed after the show and I got to meet, he signed this guitar pick for me, or he put his initials on a guitar pick that I wore on one of those 1990s choker, like the metal ball chokers.
I want to see that again. I want to see.
I think it's probably, it's somewhere upstairs in one of the boxes or whatever. but yeah, so he signed my CD and stuff like that. And it was like the greatest night ever, because it was a band that I absolutely loved. And the Newsboys, and I said like they have different eras, and if you know anything about the Newsboys now and the drama, with their newest lead singer, and they've basically broken up. I could just say that so I'm going with this era. I'm not going past.
Okay.
So that era, that band, the Newsboys from that era, since Peter Fuller came over, that's mine.
Sweet.
My favorite.
I love that.
How about you?
So for me, it's kind of, and this all goes back to my best friend connection with Matt and Mike growing up. So
absolutely,
we became obsessed with New Edition. The band had been together forever, and the band consisted of Belle Biv DeVoe. So it was all of them. It had Bobby Brown in it, Johnny Gill, and Ralph Tresvant.
Right.
And if you know anything about the 80s, they all crushed it in the 80s. Belle Biv DeVoe, huge, right? Bobby Brown, huge. Johnny Gill, huge. Ralph Tresvant, huge. All single albums on their own. They went out. Sure. And then collectively, as New Edition had some of their newer music coming out while we were in high school, we absolutely loved that as well. And we listened to those songs constantly. Like my friend Mike, his first car he got, it was, I forget what kind of car it was. The name of the car was the Roadie. I'm not sure why, but that's what it was. It didn't have a tape player in it. And it was like a 70s something car. Green and ugly as crap. But I was the guy in the back. I was always the DJ. So I always have my tape case, and I'd hold a boombox in the back seat. That would be our music as we drove around.
Right.
So I was in charge of playing the music in the back seat. And so that was big for us. And we listened to all those songs nonstop. Matter of fact, once they had gone to college, there was a new one that had come out, a new edition, new album, and we went up there together. I think we thought we were so cool. We bought like Swisher sweet cigars to smoke as we did like a listening party of the new album together. And I just have so many memories tied to all those things. And like, is there other things that have had big impacts in my life? Absolutely, for sure. But I'm thinking about it in the age of growing up through the high school years and even a little bit past. But definitely all the New Edition people, we listened to their albums on repeat. We probably were bigger fans than the girls of people like that, because we were like, oh yeah, play that song over and over again.
Right.
We just absolutely loved it. So for me, and the only thing that had the question that had the biggest impact on your life was the friendship during that time, not necessarily the songs. The songs what brought us together, and we loved them. We had experienced life together through the songs. And I think that's the biggest, was the impact on our friendships that we had together at that time, and all the crazy fun things we did during that time frame. Absolutely loved it. I'll list one more real quick too. There was one song. So I don't know how to get into this. So with my depression and bipolar and all this stuff, I've always been like numbed out most of the time. I don't cry hardly ever. A little bit more now, but really hardly ever at all. Just because doesn't mean I'm sad, doesn't mean I'm not sad or not very emotional or very upset or hurt. I just never I could never cry. It just would never happen. And so when my best friend Mike died of cancer, we drove up there multiple times to see him. And the last time, he was in the hospital bed, and it was me and Matt and Mike's wife Shannon, and we were all gathered there together and just talking and stuff like that. And everybody is bawling their eyes out. Me, not a tear. I felt like I looked like the biggest a-hole because I was like showing no emotion in that kind of way. And so when he finally had passed, I still didn't cry at that moment. The only thing that got me there to the point of actually falling apart was on a car ride. I was listening to If You Can Only Imagine.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And hearing that and thinking about him, going to heaven and living this life with Jesus and stuff like that, that finally broke down all my numbness and all my walls was that. And then I kind of came unglued after that point. Not like it fell apart, but as far as that song, that's what kind of got me there. So it always ties back to Jesus at the very end of the day. That besides the best friend thing growing up, that was the one. And I've listened to that many times and it always brings me to tears, So I think about different people who have passed on and stuff like that. So If You Can Only Imagine.
Song. Mercy Me. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, I wasn't sure I was going to throw that in, but I felt like it needed.
I'm glad you did. That's special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not emotionally dead, people. All right. I'm not. It just takes me a hot second. Like me and Billy reading stories on the podcast that get you there. All right. So we're moving along. Who is your favorite artist or band of all time? Are we keeping it in high school years, right?
Oh no, I just in general.
You did say of all time, so yeah, go for it.
But yeah, gosh, this one was the last one that I answered because there's so many things that I love.
Yeah,
so many genres that I love, so many eras that I love, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, how do I answer this question? It's hard. It's really hard. But then I was like, okay, what are you listening to and been listening to the most? Like when you're like, walking around or you're doing things, what is it you go to like as your, or if you're in the car or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, there's no question. I absolutely love Need to Breathe. Okay. It's one of my favorite bands of all time. And I mean, that's why they're getting this spot on my question.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. And just, especially like from their like 2009, the Outsiders album, that's kind of where that's kind of when I came to become a fan of the band.
Okay.
And I know they just came out with a new CD, like 2 or 3 day album, a couple days ago. That's out now. That I've listened to a few songs that they pre-released. I haven't listened to the whole thing, but that's on my to-do list.
Okay.
But the one right before called Caves, also one of my favorites. I got to go see them. One of my buddies, they came here in Birmingham, and I was going to buy tickets to go see them because they're close. I'm going to see them, and he had won like 10 tickets off the radio, and he's like, I can't go. Who wants it? And I just so happened saw that post right when he posted it, and I got them, and so I got to go for free. And I had 10, like nobody, I couldn't get nobody to go with me. I was like, what the heck? And so I had I was in the middle of my seats. I had plenty of room. I could do whatever I wanted. I could do cartwheels if I wanted, but man, oh man, I enjoyed that concert. And they're coming back as well here soon. And so, yep. But Need to Breathe. I actually want to learn how to play the banjo. Like I really want to learn how to just want to learn how to play the banjo.
Pick it.
That's right. Yeah,
that was my banjo. That. Sorry, guys.
Yep, I love that. But yeah, Need to Breathe. They're also one of those bands that are like a regular band, but their songs have a lot of spiritual meanings and different things like that. And I love that. So
yeah,
there you go.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That is a good one. I have one that was like new and old. Like
okay,
throw 2 quick answers together. So for me, as you can probably tell of everything I've already talked about, I said my favorite artist or band of all time, based upon everything that I've done with it, was New Edition collectively, all their different albums, them together.
Right.
But I thought more modern type music is one of my favorite artists is Bruno Mars. There is very little that he puts out that I don't like. I just like his style of music. I like his upbeat. He's fun. He can dance, he's charismatic, all those different things. And I find myself always singing to those songs of any kind from Bruno Mars. So that'd be like a newer version for me. But you ask about if you were to listen to the playlist, the stuff that I play is all like, might as well just be called like Tim's Mega Mix.
Right.
Because that's all the stuff I listen to. Because it's mostly like, I am always putting new songs together for my fitness classes, stuff that's going to be fun, upbeat, take their mind off the pain they're going through as we're listening to really cool different music from every kind of genre, different decades, times, and things like that. So that's how my playlist is now on Spotify. You can ask anybody who rides in the car with me. It's like being in the club. Everything's like fun and upbeat, old, new. I'm jamming to all those kind of things. So I don't know. It's I listen to so much. It's hard for me to say like what's something you listen to in your playlist. Like if I played you a song from the playlist right now, you'd be like, oh, okay, a little.
Yeah, just put it on shuffle and be like, you never know what you're gonna get.
Never know what you're gonna get. No. So number 8, Mr. Billy Boy, you said, what is your favorite album of all time? Man, I mean, here's the deal. You have all these questions end in all times. It's a lot of pressure. When you think about all time.
It is a lot of pressure. So that's right.
All time, Billy Boy. All time. What do you got?
This one was easy for me. This one actually, cause like when you just kind of think, and I've already talked about them as well, but my favorite album of all time is Lifehouse, No Name Face, that came out in 2000.
Okay.
I remember this came out right before spring break because this was what we played on constant when we went down to the beach.
Okay.
I think I was a junior. Yes. No. Yeah, junior. I was a junior in high school. We went down to Gulf Shores for like our little spring break and had like 5 guys in a hotel room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was this, like I said, everything is how that album ends, but like Hanging by a Moment, 6 Cycle Carousel, Simon, Quasimodo, just some of these songs that you might not know, like by the title, but if you heard it, especially like if you're, grew up through the 90s and early 2000s, that whole album is my favorite album of all time. Yeah.
I like that. I've never heard that full album. I know the band and like some of these songs, like we were listening to different things growing up. It's funny. I didn't tell you that my dad, he's very controlled in how he does things. He does allow like some of the more, what was the way you said the music, contemporary Christian music. Yeah. In church now, like they'll do one contemporary song for every like other 15 classical,
hymns. Yeah, sure.
My favorite was the club remix of "It Is Well with My Soul." All the lights would start flashing, bass would be pumping. But yeah, so I like a lot of these songs now. That's one of my favorite playlists. Is just like praise songs on like Spotify.
Yeah. Okay, Tim, what is your favorite album of all time?
And I think a lot of people would agree with this answer, and it's hard to top this. It's the Thriller album by Michael Jackson.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Juggernaut. Yeah. And some of the songs that were on there was "Wanna Be Starting Something," Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature. I love Human Nature. PYT, Pretty Young Thing. That's almost all of them minus like a couple. I mean, those songs were massive hits. All of those songs, especially Thriller,
yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to top because a lot of those songs, that's on the playlist of your life growing up. If you grew up in the 80s, you hear all those Michael Jackson songs. And the thing, they were all on just that one album.
Wow.
Not to mention all those other amazing albums he put out. But yeah, Thriller for me, if you could probably ask people that, it goes down as the top soundtrack for most people of all time. Was good old Michael Jackson. Gotta love all those songs. And then you gotta love Weird Al Yankovic, who came along and mocked every single one in his mockumentary type style singing. So
yes. Yes.
You can't beat Eat It. Eat It's a great one.
I can't imagine like artists being mad, and I know some do. Like Coolio he lost his mind mad.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I would feel so honored if I was a musician, and
you got it.
Weird Al covered one of my songs and made it. I would felt like, okay, I've made it. I am at the height of my career. Like that would be everything. But I don't understand when they get mad.
I don't know. Yeah. Like I hope he mocks our intro song one day.
That's right. Yes.
Matter of fact, we can put that out there in the universe. Please mock our
right.
intro.
Please.
Please mock us.
Or just play it. Just play it on the accordion.
Yeah, play it on the accordion version.
Yeah,
Billy, that's what I want for next episode is a Weird Al Yankovic accordion version of our intro song.
There you go. You go.
Let's see what you can do with that. you always come up with like really creative ones. Let's see if you can come up with something.
Let's see what we do
similar to that. I would love that.
Yeah. It might even be on this one. I don't know. It might be on this one, and you'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" And then,
I'd be fine with that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Now I'm excited. Okay. We're almost there. A couple questions left to go.
Yep.
The question is, what are the top 3 concerts? I can't talk. Concerts. What are the top 3 concerts you ever experienced?
Oh man. Now this one right here. I've been to so many awesome concerts. I took this question like as an experience. Like, okay,
sure,
like, you got the music, but like the production, everything, like things that might have happened while you were there, just kind of things like that. So starting off with my number 3, and one of my favorite bands of all time, and they get a bad rep. They're almost kind of like Nickelback a little bit, but if you're in the 90s, one of my favorite bands ever was Creed.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I still listen to them to this day. Me and Trey went to go see the Human Clay tour. So this is like in 2000. Okay. It's the height of Creed. This is when they're at the biggest, higher. Coming. Can you take me higher?
Yes.
Yes. And so fantastic show. We went to the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum.
Okay.
And I remember we didn't park at the Coliseum because we didn't want to pay parking. So there was a shopping center just down the road, a couple of blocks down the road. We parked at, and we were walking. But if you know anything about this area, there's a train track.
Okay.
And train, right before we would have to cross. There's a walkway, so there's sidewalks and stuff. So as we're walking, these guys driving by yell out, "You effing rednecks!" And me and Trey just look at each other, and we're like, we're not dressed like cowboys or anything. We're just 2 guys walking down the street. But then a train comes and stops them. And so we're standing right outside their car, just looking at them the whole time. And they were just like, scared to death because they thought they were just going to drive, but then they got caught by the train. And
that's amazing.
I mean, and so that was just like a core memory that we still joke about. You effing rednecks. And then we just, we scare them. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sucks to be you, guy.
Then he saw how big you were and you're like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Wrong guy.
Wrong guy. Yeah. But that was my number 3. For number 2, oh my gosh. Okay. So Halloween night, 1999.
Okay.
Actually, all 3 of these concerts were at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. All 3 of them. But Halloween night, 1999, the Family Values Tour with Limp Bizkit as the headliner.
Oh, wow.
I saw things that night that I never thought I would see. Oh my gosh. It was insanity.
That's amazing.
But I got to see Method Man and Redman.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they were one of the shows. Filter, they were one of them. But then also Stain was one of the bands, and we were down in the pit for Stained, which is one of the harder ones, that was playing, and the mosh pits were insane, crazy. And Trey was there with me that night too. And so we were in the mosh pit going crazy. But that night, Stain had recorded a new song that they had just wrote with Fred Durst. And they sang this song. It was, what was it? Oh, Outside. It was the name of the song. And MTV was there that night, and they were recording, and they actually made the music video. It got so popular that this was the single, like the live version. But you can hear Fred Durst goes Biloxi in the song.
Oh, really?
Like if
That's
you were
cool.
to like listen to that, I was there at that show, saw that live, and so that was super cool. But
Nice.
that was a night that I'll never forget. And then Limp Bizkit was super fun as well. But my number one was in 1999 as well. It was a great time. 2099's Aerosmith, the 9 Lives tour.
Oh,
they were on this tour for like 2 or
that'd
3
be
years.
amazing.
Like it was awesome. But the crazy thing, this, of course, and I'm telling you this is way before this. I was in high school.
Okay.
Like I was in 10th grade. Okay. I was 10th grade, and we had gotten my mom had surprised me with tickets to this because I guess one of my friend's moms called her and said, "Hey, I'm gonna drop the boys off at this. Would Billy like to go with them?" And she knew I loved Aerosmith.
Right.
And she's like, "Yeah." So she bought it and surprised me with this ticket to go see Aerosmith.
Oh, wow.
And so we got to go. And I remember driving there. There was a band called Afghan Wig that was open for them that we'd never heard of. And we called the radio station like, "Hey, can you play something so we could see who this band is?" And they're like, "I've never heard of them." And I'm like, "They're opening for Aerosmith. I mean, they got to be decent or whatever."
Something good, yeah.
Yeah. But we get there, and the show is starting off, and it's so cool. And they're playing songs that I love. But there was these drunk ladies that were sitting, because we're in the stands, and so they're in the level right underneath us. So we're a little bit higher, but they're rows, because how stadiums go up, right?
Right.
So they're in the row in front of us, but they're like, and then there was some girls our age, high school girls, that were right beside them, and they were not the high school girls, but the ladies. They were a little toasty or whatever, but they turned around to us and they're like, why aren't you talking to these girls? They're right here. Why aren't, like, they're like, oh. And so I was like, okay, fine, bet. And so I jumped down on their row, and I picked this one girl. I don't know her name.
Okay.
But it's terrible. We made out the whole concert. Could not tell you her name.
Man.
And my buddy Zach, he was a songwriter and stuff, and he even wrote a song called "The No Name Girl" that he played in front of the school about that
gosh.
night. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was just like, like they're playing "Don't Want to Miss a Thing," and we're just kind of like swaying back and forth or whatever, and it's just like. And then the lights came on, the show was over, and we're like, okay, bye. Didn't get her phone number, nothing. Have no clue who that girl is.
It was just meant for that moment.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you made out with a random guy at the last tour, Aerosmith, yeah. Sorry, I'm happily married now. But that was just a night that was crazy.
That's awesome. I love that. Story.
Yeah. So the No Name Girl, there's a song about you somewhere
out there circulating.
Yeah. Terrible.
That's awesome.
But yeah, those are my 3.
Okay, I love them. Great stories.
How about you? I know it's a hard one because I know you've been to some shows too, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is, not nearly as much as you'd think. We didn't go to a lot of concerts growing up. 1, I don't think our parents wanted us going to. 2, you probably could never afford it. But as we became more like adult to young adult time frame, Leslie and I were together at these times. And so one of the main concerts that we went to, first of all, we went to a New Edition concert.
Of course.
And the funny thing about that actually is that we had bought tickets, me, Matt, Mike, and Leslie was coming, and then Matt's person he was with at the time was coming also. And we bought these cheap seats to see him. But the funny part about it is there was a radio contest going on to call in. If you could call in and sing these New Edition songs, you know, you could win seats to the thing. Matt and Mike were on a phone line together, sharing it.
Yeah.
And they had to sing nonstop. I want to say 30, 40 minutes of New Edition.
Oh man.
Like they'd be singing on the air, then they go to a song and come back. And if they weren't singing, then they were done. And so it was like, they're like, I tried to think how I knew it was on. They must have called me off a different phone in the house or something, because there's no cell phones at this point. I don't think that I can remember anyhow. And telling me about like, oh my God, we're on the air. You got to listen. And like, give me some more songs. What will you sing? And so they sang all these songs, and then they won us tickets. So we got 3 tickets down in like the good spot. Meanwhile, where Leslie and Matt's old girlfriend, they had to sit up in the cheap seats.
Oh no.
So, I mean, it went over okay. I mean, I'm sure they'd prefer to be down there with us, but they understood our obsession with New Edition at that time.
Sure.
And then, so that's one of them. A second one I went and saw was a great concert, and it was Boyz II Men. This is in the prime. TLC in their prime, and also Babyface in his prime as well.
Oh man. Okay.
That was such an amazing concert. Matter of fact, I think I shared this on an episode forever ago, but that Boyz II Men concert, someone got down and proposed to a girl on Bended Knee from Boyz II Men, and they ended up recording that, and they used that like in their video for the thing. Cool. Yeah, we're like, oh my God, we were there for that. So that was really cool. Real fun concert. And then this one I went with Leslie on, and I like the music too, but she's really obsessed with the artist Jason Mraz. Yeah. She's loved him like forever. And she's gone to a concert before a long time ago, matter of fact, where the concert was from Alanis Morissette, and Jason Mraz opened for her.
Yes.
When this is before he was a big name, and she got to see him. She's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. The way he sings, his band, it's really unique and stuff like that. So we ended up getting tickets up in Dayton for us to be able to go see Jason Mraz on one of his recent tours. I forget how many years ago. It's probably like 3 years ago or so. And it was fun. We had a great time. I mean, you're there with like the most chill adults, because this is Jason Mraz. You know, it's not people going crazy. Right. Beautiful day. It was sunny. It was warm. It felt good. The crazy part of this night continues after the concert. And this is still one of the most traumatic, very traumatic.
Traumatic. So traumatic, it's traumatic.
Yeah. We're going by traumatic. It's traumatic nights ever for Leslie and I. So we leave first and we go, and it's late. It's like 10:30, close to 11 maybe. And we were both like really hungry. So we're like, there was this Burger King. So we went to this Burger King, we pulled up, and it's one thing, it was going like really slow. When we got up to the window, we realized it was just one young girl who was running everything. It's one of those kind of deals where nobody else was there, but maybe one other person. And so she's trying to cook the stuff, take the money, give it to you, all the things. And you could just see the stress all over her face when we got up to the window, right? And we just tried to engage her, be nice and things like that. And matter of fact, I'd forget what the bill was. Maybe it was $7, $5. I don't even know what we got. And we ended up giving her like $15 and be like, just keep the change. And then she's like, you have no idea how much that means to me. Like, I really needed this money. I need this job, blah, blah, blah. So we are flying high, right? We feel so good. Yeah. We had a great concert. We just did something really nice for a person that we didn't know how bad they needed that in the moment. And so we started our drive home. And from Dayton back to our house, it's about an hour, give or take. And as soon as we pulled on the freeway, we get right into the middle lane, and there's a SUV in front of us. All of a sudden, this guy just slams on his brakes, like dead stop, like trying to get us to hit him. And I slammed the brakes, and we're like, "What the bleep is going on with this guy?" And and so we're like, "What the heck?" And so we tried to swerve and go around him. Then he pulls up, goes faster, tries to do the same thing again, slam on his brakes. And then I speed past him, and then he starts falling, tries to tailgate you like super tight, like he was trying to race us. And meanwhile, Leslie's kind of freaking out, like we don't know who this person is. It's really late, so she calls 911 and is talking to the operator like, this guy is trying to run us off the road and trying to get us to hit him and all these different things. And I forget how it kind of ended. I think the guy saw we were on the phone or something, and he ended up just taking off and getting off on an exit. So we were like, oh my God, like our chests are like beating so hard. And we're like, oh my God, that's so stressful. Like it stressed us out after having this great night. This guy's trying to get us to run into him. He's trying to run into us. We're thinking, what in God's name is happening, right? So we're thinking like, oh, thank God that's over, right? We're breathing. We're like, okay, we can eat our little Burger King now because we were too scared to eat during that time, obviously.
Sure.
You're a real slob if something's traumatic and you're still trying to eat a Whopper the whole time. Call the police. I can't talk. You talk. I'm eating. Yeah. And so we get closer home. Now we're about 15 minutes, 20 minutes from home. And we're going in the middle lane. And, decent speed. No one's really around. And all of a sudden, like, you feel it. Or you hear it before you feel it. There was somebody who came flying up past us on the left, like the fast lane. I mean, these people must have been going 100 plus miles an hour. Because,
oh, sure.
It's the thing that comes by and you can feel it in your body, like, vibrate because it's coming so hard. And you can hear it and you're like, so it startled us because we're like, what in God's name is this? Like, holy crap, these people are going to get killed. And then another one like comes flying by, same thing, like they're chasing each other. And we're like, holy crap. Again, so we're kind of like shaken by it. Well, we get up about 5 minutes later. All of a sudden, I'm in the middle lane and you see smoke everywhere. And out of the smoke, before I see it, one of those cars is completely crushed. It had bounced off the guardrail back into the middle, and it was crushed. There was no doubt the person was dead inside. No doubt. And I just saw it at the last second out of the smoke because it came on really quick, and I swerved around it real quick, and we got off on that next exit. Now, normally in these situations, as an adult, probably in the last 10 years or more, I've been really tuned into like going to help people because I got all this first responder training from the Y and stuff, just basic stuff you need to know to help people out.
Right.
So there's been many things where I've been involved in big deals. Like there was once I stopped at the store to get something and outside I heard this crash. And it was an old lady. She had just had her leg operated on and she shouldn't have been driving a car. And she drove right through the opening of a gym, like a fitness gym. And crushed the front wall in. And so I just immediately go over there and start talking her through as the police are coming. Like, what's your name? Hi, I'm Tim. Like, okay, let's talk about how you're feeling, all those different things. I've jumped in many situations like that, just about instinct. And so my normal instinct in that situation would have been to pull over and go over and see how the person was. But I was so sure this person was dead that I didn't want to see that. And I'm like, if I go over there and do this, like, I don't know if I can ever unsee that, and be scarred by it.
Right. Sure.
And so I did. We didn't stop. But we had looked later on to find out what happened in the accident, and the person did die from that, unfortunately, going fast and crashing. And we were so traumatized when we got off that exit. It's like we could barely like get our breath. We were so freaked out. It was like one of the most stressful rides home from anything I've ever had in my entire life. We went from the guy trying to wreck us to the people flying by us and wrecking someone dying in a car in front of you and almost hitting that car and getting off. It was so dramatic. We liked the concert, but that night home was like living hell for sure. And that's why I'm like, your story, you're tied to that lady for making out with someone you don't even know. Mine's almost dying a couple different times, and seeing someone else die in a car accident in front of you was just traumatic. So
traumatic. Yeah, you weren't lying. It was traumatic. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm starting to get like chest heaving. Like
that was the greatest concert you've ever been to, huh?
Oh my God. I didn't put them in any order, but that's the one that I have a story that I'm tied to, like big time, because of what happened after the fact. So,
I mean, yeah, you experienced it, huh? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, yeah. So anymore, when people come flying by us and that happens, it freaks me out. Still to this day. All right, everyone's been waiting, Billy. We're up to our final question of the day.
Yep.
And I think this was a hard one to come to, this question, by the way. I had to think about everything and everyone and all these different things. So the question is, what is the most overrated artist or band in your opinion?
Sure. Okay.
I was thinking of all time is what I was going with.
Yeah. And this might get me in trouble. but it's honest for me because I could not tell you a single song. If it came on the radio, like I wouldn't know that it was this singer that sang that song or rapped that song or whatever. Like I don't know, but he's super, super famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you. I didn't forget to not tell you, but like I could not tell you a single song this person, and they have like their own private jet, like a big, huge private jet. Like they're super uber famous, and they used to be a Nickelodeon child TV star.
Okay,
turned R&B rap. Drake. I could not tell you a single Drake song. Like, and I know some people will be like, "What?"
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how I missed the whole Drake era. Or I know Kendrick.
Yeah,
I know they have beef and stuff, and I know Kendrick songs.
Yeah,
but I couldn't tell you a single Drake song.
It's funny you said that because I almost also picked Drake as well, because of the same thing. I know some of his songs, but not a lot. And I know so many people love him and they think he's amazing. And so what? If you like him, that's great for you. But I was thinking the same thing. Like I just don't get it necessarily.
I feel validated. Good.
Yeah. I think the only thing I could think of right now, there's a couple, but I could think of if I heard it right away would be Hotline Bling. That's Drake. Do you remember that song?
No clue. No.
Okay, don't worry about it. But that one would come on. I would know that. We used to play that at wedding receptions when we DJ'd and stuff. Anyhow.
Okay.
But yeah, I also thought about Drake as one of the people too. But I get that. I guess it's just because it didn't really kind of hit us in that era for some reason.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I know like Luke likes Drake.
Sure.
Some of his songs, I think, and he's gonna hate me if I'm wrong on that. But I think he likes Drake. I know he likes Kendrick Lamar as well. But
he's like, Dad, Timmy, I don't like Drake. Why are you?
Yeah, he'd call me Timmy Boy. Timmy Boy. Yeah. Never respect me by calling me Dad. Timmy Boy. This is how it really goes. All right. So mine is, and I thought about this. I thought about a bunch of different bands and artists and stuff, but the one that comes to mind, I think, is the most overrated band of all time, and people are going to come for this one too, is Kiss.
Oh gosh.
Kiss, they were masters of branding themselves, right? With the face paint.
The greatest marketer band of all time.
All time. Gene Simmons with the big tongue and the craziness he did, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's fantastic. Bigger than life personalities. But for me, I mean, short of a couple songs, I just don't get it. And I don't know if it's because I wasn't just a big super, like, I don't know if you consider them heavy metal really, but more just rock and roll band. But I just were never into their songs or their music, and I know people love them. I want to use the word worship lightly, but worship how they do their things, and they'll do the face paint and dress up, and they sell out concerts, and they're super famous and all these things. But for me, it's Kiss. And like you said, they're masters of branding. Masters of branding and merchandise.
Yes.
Forget about it. All over the place.
Yep. They'll make that money.
Yeah. They even showed up in what movie by Adam Sandler?
Kiss? It was in it was in Happy Gilmore.
Yes. Who's wearing the mask?
The mask. The grandma,
yes,
and then Shooter licks the tongue, right?
Yeah, like and his little daydream thing is going on. Yeah,
yes.
But my point being is they were everywhere, right? People know Gene Simmons, they know Kiss, they know all this stuff. But for me, I just think they're overrated, personally.
Yep.
So
no. Yeah. Now we have the Kiss Army coming after us.
I know exactly.
Fans.
Please, we think you're right. Just overrated, just for the sake of it. Billy made me answer this question, you guys. So if you listen, then you're
Billy, it's my fault. Yeah,
Billy's a jerk. I'm pointing right here because that's where he is on my screen. I'm staring at my camera.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was it for me. Well, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot.
That was fun. That was like I said.
It
was. Yeah, that was a really good episode. I'm glad we got to talk about songs and different
and
artists
stories
that we love
and things like that.
Stories
to them. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia.
Exactly.
And we really hope you guys enjoyed this too, because I know that all of us out there listening has a playlist of our life out there.
Yep.
And these songs are going to be different for you for these questions and answers. And Billy, where can they show us and tell us their love for their certain playlist of their life? Where can they connect with us?
That is great question, Tim. Well, head on over to facebook.com and type in All the Everything Podcast. You'll find our page there. Hit that like button and just go on and, watch the videos. Make a comment on our page and, share it to your friends. We want to get the word out that, we're here. And they can also go on the TikTok. We're right there. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but we just passed over 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Whoop, whoop. And so great job, Billy.
Whoop. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we broke that this past week.
Thank you, guys.
So super excited about that. And then also we're on Instagram and we're on YouTube. You can watch this whole episode plus all the shorts there as well on the YouTube. But above all that, we really, 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 really would love for you to go over to Apple Podcast.
Yes.
Go on that little app, click on it, go to All the Everything Podcast, give us a 5-star review, and then write us a little love note. That would make our day. That would absolutely make our day. Help us get the word out and then tell the algorithm, hey, these guys, there's something special to them. So
yes.
There you go.
So, as a matter of fact, before we went on our spring break cruise, I had dinner with Matt, my best friend, and his wife, Amy. And, Matt's sister who works for our company, Bethany, and her husband, Ryan, were there. And we were talking about the podcast, how she listens and stuff like that. And she's like, I swear to you, I try to go to Apple Podcasts all the time. It won't let me leave a review. I've showed Ryan. We can't figure out what's going on. So if people are stuck out there, leave a review on somewhere else. You can leave reviews on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and the list goes on and on. So if you can find somewhere else to leave a review and you can't just do Apple Music or you can't figure it out, we'll take the review anywhere.
Anywhere. As long as it's good.
As long as it's good, yeah. Only if it's a good one and a 5-star and it boosts our egos.
If it sucked, it's the Everything Podcast.
Yeah. No, don't go looking for that one either. All the Everything Podcast, and always remember, podcast is part of the name of the podcast.
That is.
People have been hung up on that before, but we're not talking about any of that anymore. So thank you guys so much for joining us for yet another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.